we're going to start with the Pelicans, though, as last night game got a little sketchy against that lowly Wizards team, mainly because Denny Avdija just decided to do something he's never done in his career. Avdija's career high going in last night was 25. Mm-hmm. Then he went for 43 and 14.
15.
43 and 15. Going 6 of 10 from 3. And then how about this? The Wizards as a team shoot nearly 50%. They had a franchise record 21 threes. And yet, because of 36 from Big Z, Zion Williamson, and some clutch moments from Alvarado, a couple big threes from Brandon Ingram when they were needed, CJ McCollum, the Pelicans survive and beat a bad Wizards team, making the Pelicans, winners of 3 in a row. I believe 7 of the last 8 going into this All-Star break. And I know that it's always interesting to watch the kind of dueling reactions to a game like this, where a lot of the people who maybe cover this team super in depth or are very whatever. I guess the first thing that I said, like the ones who are most locked in, they seem to be a little upset. Again, I think I have the benefit of just kind of turning off my brain and watching this team from afar. And to me, it's like, okay, it's a professional team. You play a pro team that sets a franchise record with 21 threes. You manage not to blow that game. You manage to win it. You're getting good marks from me, and you're in the All-Star break on a hot streak.
Yeah, you're getting great marks from me because I live bet this thing whenever it got a little sketchy.
Oh, really?
I hammered the Pelicans.
Yeah, dude, let's go.
I was like, they ain't going to lose to the Wizards at home.
Wizards got up, 6 in the third? Is that when you did it? Nice. Yeah,
so I appreciate it. Thank you for your service there. But also, we always talk about, we've been talking about for 3 years now since we've been together, like games like this, the Pelicans would lose in years past. They just would. Bad team, you're playing really well. Here comes a bad team that should never beat you, and they beat you. And when they got down 6 in years past, they would not have won that game. They would have melted. It would have been a bad deal. At the end of the game, they would have lost by some crazy play. So for them to put it away, for them to win the game by 7, I think that shows you the continued growth of this team.
I agree. It was nice seeing, too, again, Zion Williamson, point Zion, take over, doing it off the dribble a lot this game, as he's done a ton recently. You continue to see the assist number climb while the rebounds actually go down as he completes his transformation into just a giant guard. But I love a Zion dominating night as well, because unlike most of the scorers you will see, it is always hyper efficient, right? Because everything, what do you finish, like 15 to 21?
Yep.
I think is what I read earlier. But yeah, like I said, man, this is not like yes, do you need to play better than this against if you're going to be the best teams? Yeah. Do you need to play better than this if you're going to win the playoffs? Yes. But to me, that's not really the point, right? This is a bit of a trap game scenario. Senioritis could have been setting in with the All-Star break and a little break sitting there on the other side. And Willie Green's message to the team before the game, AD and Joel were talking about it, was, look, you got to respect the opponent. And maybe they didn't do that the entire game, right? After they jump up by 20, it looks like they started to enter cruise control, and Avdija and company kind of started to make it pay for it. But like Jake said, finding a way to reverse, get the win, and now, again, 11 games over 500 entering the All-Star break. That 11 games ties last year's high water mark. I didn't realize that. Christian Clark wrote about this, but it was December 30th last year when the Pels were on that hot streak and they're at the top of the West, and they were 11 games above 500. Of course, everything else went wrong after that. Here's to hoping that will not happen this time. Also, I think a bit of a statement, Jake, or a symbolic victory maybe, that going into the All-Star break, you have Zion Williamson healthy and dropping 36, right?
Yes, I agree.
I mean, he literally, here's his quote from after the game yesterday. Quote, "I'm excited. I haven't been available for this part of the season since my second year. Just to be available, God bless for that. I love hooping. I love competitive hooping."
Yes, I mean, all of that, because we've been waiting for him to be healthy at this portion of the season, and also like him just taking games over. Like this team in years past has overcome a lot, and made a run a couple years ago against the Suns, and they kind of limped into that situation, but this is the most that they're thriving, I think, since Zion has been there. And now you've got everybody bought in. And you've even figured out your rotation, which was a big question mark for this team, and they have figured it out. And now, like, Jose Alvarado has found his place again, playing 20 minutes a game, and so
he had a lot of big moments last night too.
We were wondering, because you had so many players, like, how it was going to play out. And Jordan Hawkins at the beginning of the season looked like somebody that had to play. Well, he hasn't played as of late because you've got guys that are making their threes. And what he gives you isn't what you need right now. What you need right now is Jose Alvarado out there on the defensive end. This team had 14 steals last night. 14. I mean, and it was everybody. Ingram has 2. Off the bench, Larry Nance has 3. Najee Marshall has 3. Jose Alvarado had 2. Even Trey Murphy had 3. I mean, so everybody knows their role with this team, and it feels like they have fully bought into that role as they move forward into the All-Star break.
Yeah, and you got a classic Alvarado come from behind steal, bring the
and
ball
Bull was
up court,
looking for
which
him
is the
too.
best. I know.
That was the best part.
And he still got him.
I know.
It's crazy how good he is at that. It's a real skill set. And Taylor, I can see you frothing at the bit, so I'm going to let you in here in a second. But I love this quote from C.J. McCollum. This is a quote, Jake, of somebody who knows what it takes in this league, who's a vet, and who's honest about how this league works. Because a lot of times you're like, whatever, we want to win all the games, et cetera. He goes, quote, "For me, it's about understanding what we have to do." Talking about the second half of the season. "Trying to win games at home, beat teams under 500, compete on the road, and continue to give ourselves a chance not to be in the play-in game." So it's pretty interesting here. C.J. McCollum basically exactly where we are in terms of the goal for this team and what they need to accomplish in order to show like real growth. And I love that formula. It's very simple, right? Hold serve at home, beat the bad teams, snag road games, and just And if you do that, there's a good chance you will avoid the play-in. So we will see. Taylor, what did you think about last night?
I thought it was great. And I saw your comment earlier about, the people who follow this team really closely are disappointed about this loss. And I've seen some of that.
This win. But yes.
Yeah. They're treating it like a loss almost.
Yes.
I think it should be viewed in the complete opposite direction. This team is now finding new ways to win. Mm-hmm. We were talking, you're finding different people to score. You're finding new ways to win. What have you been winning by? The 3-pointers and your defense.
Yeah.
You had neither one of those last night. As a matter of fact, you pretty much got beat in every category. But I always look, anytime you're like, this team shot better than you, they had a lot more free throws, but you still won the game. There's always one area that's an outlier.
Yeah.
So last night, the Wizards, they shot better from 3 than you, 46-31. They had 85% free throws. You only had 79. They had more total rebounds than you. Assists were about even. They had 22 fast break points. You only had 14. But here's the outlier. Points in the paint, Wizards 44, Pelicans 74. You outscored them by 30 in the paint.
Z, baby.
You haven't been doing that. You've been relying on the 3-pointers. Now, you still had 37 off your bench, which was excellent, but the 3-point shooting wasn't there. The defense wasn't there. You're still finding ways to win in different ways. So, I come out for this saying this team might be more dangerous because they're winning with threes because that's what they like to do. But even when they're off, they can still get you.
Well, and what they held? Who'd they play in the last 2 games? The Grizzlies and who else? What they held them to both like under 86?
Yeah, well, their last game it was 93-84.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You had back-to-back games where you hold NBA teams under 86 points in this era of modern basketball, and then the Wizards come in, set a franchise records for 3, and to Taylor's point, you managed to win. I will say that's so funny about the points of the paint stat because now I think about the Wizards were getting blown by everybody. It wasn't just Zion. Their ability to keep people from just blowing right by them. I mean, there's a reason why they're 9-40 or whatever they are at this point, but could not be more pleased with this Pelicans team entering the All-Star break, going into the final push of the season. Like we said, healthy, knock on wood. Hopefully that carries through. And, man, I'm just pumped. It's going to be a very exciting finish to the year.